This is Art Gunner from thepunkeffect.com and morepower.com. I just got back from seeing Avengers Age of Ultron, and as readers of The Punk Effect and More Power will know, I haven't posted any articles this week. That's because I'm bringing you guys my video reactions to the movie. And wow, this is quite a movie. This is quite the Marvel movie to be talking about right now. Jesus fucking Christ. Ow. Well, let's, I'm going to have a non-spoiler section right here at the beginning, and then I'll get into some very spoiler-heavy analysis of my deeper thoughts into the movie. But as far as overall thoughts in regards to the movie, I loved it. I loved it. I went to see this on Friday, the 7 o'clock show, the 7:30 showing, and the reason why I'm recording this now is because, unlike a lot of people who just record the vlog just after they see the movie, I wanted to let the movie sink in a little bit, let the starstruck limelight effect wear off, so I can think a little clearer. And I think that was good, but it doesn't change the fact that this movie was fucking awesome. What we have is easily a contender for taking, at least personally my spot, for the best of the Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise, the best movie. Age of Ultron easily is up there with the first Avengers and Winter Soldier. Because for me, those are the two best ones out of the whole franchise. As far as deeper thoughts in regards to the movie, still, non-spoilers. The acting, being that this is the second time around, the main Avengers cast have had time to gel with one another. They know how to play off one another, because they played off one another spectacularly in the first one. Here, now it's like they're frat brothers and sister, and they're just chilling out. And I love that, because there's the scene that everyone knows about where they're all trying to pick up Thor's hammer. Before that, there's a big party scene. I'm not spoiling much. There's a big party scene. They're all hanging out. They're all shooting the shits, swapping stories. Rhodey's swapping stories with people. You got the Stan cameo, which was beautiful in this movie. I'm not spoiling that, even in the spoiler section. I'm not fucking spoiling his cameo, because this is definitely the best Stan cameo so far. But the acting was great. The only acting that I felt was shaky was from the Romanoff twins. And it wasn't so much that I didn't... it's not that they couldn't project, or, like, I didn't believe what they were going through. It was the accent. The fakey Russian, Eastern European-ish accent, it felt really fake. But that's just me. But it's not fake to the point of being annoying. Just like it's in the realm of forgivable or so bad it's good. It's fine. And like I said, the acting from the two of them is perfectly fine, aside from... I don't understand why they needed to give them the accent to begin with, because Baron Strucker, longtime Captain America villain, who shows up for about 3 minutes in this movie, which I felt was a real shame. Baron Strucker, he's a Hydra, big Hydra Nazi. He only shows up for a little bit, and his accent is not very thick. It's just at the level where it's like, okay. I know he's from Europe, but I can't necessarily discern where. With the Romanovs, it's very thick, very thick. But I think the performance that is outshining everyone, and everyone is praising it, and it's worth praise, is James Spader as friggin' Ultron. Oh my god. His voice. I went to go see this movie with my girlfriend. Let's just say she was squirming in her seat every time she heard Ultron spoke. This guy's voice, he is very charismatic. What they try to do with Ultron is give him... he's obviously the villain, so he's got to have some charisma behind him, but he feels like a dark Tony Stark. The type of humor that he employs, and the type of... and just the way he speaks, the way he moves, his swagger. He has the Stark swagger and the Stark snark. And he blows it away. He blows it away. James Spader as a sentient robot is pretty amazing. The other sentient robot, I can't remember the actor's name. I'll put it right here because I can't remember it offhand. The guy who plays Jarvis is now playing the Vision. This guy, Jarvis has always been a great addition to the Iron Man movies, to his little role in the Avengers movie. Yeah, Jarvis is fun. He is a snarky, sassy bastard, and it's just a lot of fun hearing him. Like, he's supposed to be Tony's butler, but he has no problem talking down to Stark, and he carries that over when he becomes Vision, and it's just a lot of fun watching him do that. The only other performance I feel is worth noting is Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, because a lot of people will universally agree that in the first Avengers movie, Hawkeye really got the shaft, because for more than half the movie, he was under mind control from Loki. So it was really tough to give him any character development. He owns this movie. If this movie was about... If I was going to tell someone who the main character of this movie is, I'm not going to tell him Tony, I'm not going to tell him Cap, I'm not going to tell him Ultron, I'm not going to tell him anyone. But it is Jeremy Renner. It is Hawkeye's movie. Because Hawkeye, while in the first movie he was really just, I'm just a guy with a bow. I'm just pew, 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 pew. Now, in this movie we really see why he's on the team. Because even he jokes, him and everyone else on the team joke about the fact that, oh, we got Hawkeye on the team. Woo. But his purpose on the team is actually really profound. It's that he's the one who keeps everyone grounded. He's the one he's got no powers. He's got no super spy training. He is a SHIELD agent. He's got spy training. But he's not a Black Widow. He's not a super genius. He's not a super soldier. He's not a god. He doesn't have a gamma irradiated temper tantrum. He's just a guy who can, maybe do a couple flips, and he's good at archery. But that makes him the most human member of the team, the most normal. And so, because of that, he is the one who is able to more or less keep everyone else in line. When everyone else is throwing their egos all over the place, he never has ego to deal with. He sees the mission, and he knows exactly what needs to be done to make sure that all these idiots, all these superpowered idiots, come together and help out and work together. There's Jeremy Renner. I'll talk more about why he's so awesome in the spoiler section, but he really makes up for his lack of character in the first Avengers here. The only other big thing I'm going to talk about before I get into heavy spoilers is Natasha Bruce. The Natasha Bruce romance, which has been, everyone knows about it, everyone's seen the trailers, everyone's talking about it. I never saw Natasha and Bruce together, ever working at all. They make it work in this movie. I'm a comic guy, as my resume would show from all my articles and my videos and the like, but Romanov and Bruce have never really interacted to that degree in the comics, not even remotely. So seeing that play out on film, it's different. If nothing else, I respect the movie for trying out something different. Like I said, initially I didn't care for it, but can't say it's bad. I cannot say it's bad. They really portray it very well. There's real drama between their relationship, whether or not they should go forward with it, whether or not they should just abandon all hopes for it because they're both freaks. Their words, not mine, basically. And it's done very well, and it's heartbreaking. It'll make you teary-eyed. All right. So basic synopsis, if you don't want to hear anything super spoilery, it's a good movie. The action scenes are really fun. Oh, that's another thing. Pacing. Because a lot of people will... I've seen people argue that pacing is a bit of an issue in this and the other Avengers movie, where in the other Avengers movie they would go back and forth. I felt between fights and talking. I feel this movie did its pacing between action set pieces and character motivation, character development, interaction. I felt Age of Ultron handled it much better than the original Avengers. Because in original Avengers, the set pieces were very small scale. Like, one of the set pieces was Thor versus Iron Man. That was a good fight, but that's not Hulk versus Iron Man. That's not Hulk versus Hulkbuster. And you can argue in the first Avengers, the talking sections, the development sections, dragged on a little too long. I felt it was handled much better here, where they left just enough time to develop, and then they realized, yeah, we got it. We got to get back into it. So I felt the pacing was a lot better this time around. The action scenes much more intense, a lot of fun, and just overall a great film. Awesome acting, Joss Whedon's snarky humor. Snarky humor makes it into the script beautifully. It's a good movie. Go see it. Go fucking see it. And now, spoilers. Jesus fucking Christ. So we start off the movie with all of the Avengers fighting in an Eastern European country, taking on Hydra base. If you're a fan of the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they alluded to this being a mission that Coulson is actually giving the team through Maria Hill. They're going to this base to track down Loki's scepter from Hydra, which was taken into S.H.I.E.L.D. custody during the first Avengers movie, and after the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Winter Soldier, it just kind of vanished. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. So there's this giant action piece where all the Avengers fighting in the snow against like hordes. It's Hydra horde mode. They're coming in waves, and they're just ripping them apart between Thor just fucking electrifying the entire battlefield, Tony zipping across and blasting the shit out of their base. Hulk tearing everything a new asshole within a mile radius. And the first scene, they actually get the Romanov twins right out of the gate. And they show up in the first scene fighting against the Avengers. Great fight between Quicksilver and Hawkeye. Great fight. And during the scene, also Scarlet Witch gets a chance to take on Captain America and Iron Man. When it's Captain America, she just kind of blasts him a little bit. But with Tony, she actually sets the wheels in motion to get the entire main plot of Age of Ultron started. She, as Scarlet Witch does, she has, her powers are kind of off the charts. When it comes to mutant, which she isn't in this movie, I'm aware, mutant power scale, she's like Omega level or something. I honestly don't know what her actual, classification is, but she is easily one of the most powerful. If it wasn't for Phoenix Force, she is the most powerful mutant ever, period. She has the ability to screw with people's minds. She screws with Tony and gives him a vision of a possible future where the Chitauri and Thanos invade Earth, and every one of the Avengers are dead and dying, except for Tony. And so Tony then is set on the path to create this Ultron, a project that he and Banner have apparently been working on for a while, which is an AI program that that is designed to help protect and patrol and save the world. And that's a good idea. The bad part is that the brain mapping, the idea is they need a consciousness, they need a AI program. They try and use a brain mapping type thing, where they analyzed Loki's scepter and noticed that the jewel at the top of it actually has what appears to be brainwaves, something more advanced than even Jarvis's AI, which intrigues Tony, and he convinces Banner to help him map it and try and turn it into an interface to turn it into an AI. And because they mess with alien technology that they don't know what it is, of course it becomes the bad guy. That becomes Ultron. But not before we get the little party segment where we see S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, we see a bunch of military guys, Tony's female entourage. Pepper's not there, and neither is Jane Foster, Thor's girlfriend, Natalie Portman. They're not there, but you see Tony and Thor, waving their dicks around, saying, I got the better girlfriend. No, I do. No, I doth have the better girlfriend. Lady friend. Yeah, it's a lot of testosterone. But it's a lot of fun. And we even get to meet Rhodey, who spouts around a bunch of War Machine stories. That he tries to share some of his exploits as War Machine with the Avengers. They're not impressed. He shares it with anyone else, they love it. They're going nuts for it. He shares it with Thor and Tony, they're like, that's it? Oh, okay. Great story, man. Great story. Ooh. But as I said, this is also the scene where we get the best Stan Lee cameo to date. And that cameo is him as a World War II veteran chilling out with Cap and Thor. And Thor's talking about this Asgardian whiskey he brought in this tiny little pocket watch-sized flask. He's showing it off yes, this has been aged for 1,000 years. It is not for mortal men. And Stan just looks up at him and he's like, heck with you. Let me get some of that. Yeah. Alright. Next scene, you see two guys having to drag Stan out of there, loopy as hell. Hey, Mrs. Hell's here. whoa, it was. Oh my god. Okay, I guess I just spoiled it, even though I said I wouldn't. But oh my god, best Stan cameo. So after that scene, we get the hammer scene where everyone's trying to lift it up, and that plays straight into Ultron's first appearance. After this, we get a bunch of development where we're trying to find out what is Ultron's plan. What is he trying to do? Turns out he's hacking the internet to try and track down, get nuclear launch codes and a bunch of other anything he can use to try and take over the world or destroy it, because his programming is to save it. The only way to save it is to destroy it so that humanity can evolve. Very Final Fantasy-esque logic and bad guy motivations. Done well, very charismatic and much more believable than, you know, Final Fantasy X's antler dude spouting off that humanity has to die because sin and all humanity's sin, it's a representation of sin. No, here it's just like humanity is doomed. It's got a lot of bad guys on the way. So I'm going to knock a few million off, play survival of the fittest, and we're going to see how fast they evolve and adapt. Make them a little bit more edgy for the oncoming storm that is to come. And that's the whole plot, is that Ultron is trying to destroy most of the world to, in essence, save it. As I said, Final Fantasy tactics, but, well, not Final Fantasy plot, but whatever. The Romanovs end up working for him for a little bit because they want blood from Stark. They want to take down Stark because apparently when they were kids, their apartment building was destroyed by Stark weaponry, and so they blame Tony for it. I've seen. I get you. I get you, kids. Doesn't change the fact that someone probably bought Stark tech off of the black market after it was stolen, because we all know Tony has the worst fucking security when it comes to transporting his goods. See Iron Man 1. But, yeah. So they're working together with Ultron, trying to take down Stark, but that only lasts until Scarlet Witch notices that Ultron is really freaking evil, and he wants to use this vibranium that they actually go to Wakanda to steal. They go to Wakanda and steal vibranium from another guy who stole vibranium from the Wakandans, and they plan on using that in a big doomsday weapon to take down, they believe, as far as the Romanovs are aware, it's for a doomsday weapon to take down Stark. But then later on, Scarlet Witch uses her multitude of powers, and she, like, reads the future in regards to the vibranium. Because they also use the vibranium to create a new body for Ultron. In the comics, Ultron is the creator of Vision, but he creates Vision as a lackey, as a puppet, as his puppet, as, you know, just a sidekick. In here, Ultron designs Vision as his next body, as the next stage of his evolution, because he wants a human body, something more human-esque, something that is evolved past being a machine, and more than a machine and more than man. Because earlier on in the movie, they introduced a machine that is actually able to repair skin tissue by making skin tissue, like a 3D printer for wounds, for skin. And they inject vibranium into that, and they use that to basically make a body for him. Scarlet Witch reads it, and, oh, no! no, no, holy shit, okay, you're trying to destroy the world. Bad robot. And so they zip on out of there. Like I said, their reasons for... They don't want to destroy the world. They're not bad guys. They just want revenge on Stark. Which is reasonable. As I said, that's their whole reason for being. There is good motivation for what they're doing. And when they turn sides, it's not just right away. It technically is right away, but as opposed to just like, oh, I'm good guy now. No, it's, oh, we just wanted revenge. You want to destroy the world. We didn't sign up for that. And so they hightail it on out of there. And after that, we get the final battle. Also, just backtracking a little bit, one of the best fight scene in the movie comes when they're in Wakanda, or they're in Africa at least, and the Avengers try to stop Ultron and the twins from stealing the vibranium. They fail, but Scarlet Witch screws around with the heads of all the Avengers except for Jeremy Renner, except for Hawkeye, because throughout the scene you see her screwing with their heads, and she basically sends them into a dreamlike trance. And Jeremy Renner is privy to, he sees, like, they're all just kind of dazed and confused, but then he notices, ah, shit. So he immediately takes an arrow, like a shock arrow, launches it straight into her head. Yeah, to make sure that she does not use her powers on him, delivering one of my favorite one-liners. Yeah, I tried mind control once, didn't like it. I might be screwing up that line, but that's basically what happened. He has been under mind control before, does not care for it. So he hightailed it on out of there. And we're back, quick edit, sorry about that. As I was saying, one of my favorite fight scenes is right here when Scarlet Witch is screwing with their heads. She also screws with the Hulk. And that's what starts up the big Hulkbuster match. And it's one of the most intense battles of the movie, barring the final conflict. But as far as like a one-on-one, this is a lot more intense than Iron Man versus Thor. This is a lot more intense and a lot more destruction, but not Superman levels of destruction. It gets crazy, but it's not ludicrous. The final battle... Oh, no, backtracking. After the Hulkbuster fight, this is where Jeremy Renner's character really shines. This is where Hawkeye really gets his moment. Because throughout the movie, they had been alluding to whether or not Hawkeye has a girlfriend. Someone says, like, ah, well, we do this to you, and your girlfriend won't even be able to tell the difference. And he tells them, oh, I don't have a girlfriend. Later on, Cap sees him on the phone, and he asks, who is that? It was, my girlfriend? My girlfriend? And after they all get screwed over on the mind control, they kind of need a place to lay low. So Jeremy Renner takes them to his safe house. Not just any safe house, it's his house. With his wife. And 2 kids. And a third on the way. So Hawkeye is not only is this version of Hawkeye, he's not married to Bobby Morse. He's not involved with Black Widow. He's just got his own life. He's completely separate. He's brand new. And this explains why in the first movie, I thought that Black Widow would end up with Hawkeye, but it explains why she didn't. And it explains why, it's just a non-issue. She's not with Hawkeye. End of story. Not bad. Not a bad way to do it. Certainly not complaining of it, yeah. And his interactions with these kids, with his kids, with his wife, and they even show off that apparently Black Widow knows about these people, to the point where the little where Hawkeye's daughter runs up to her and says, "Auntie Nat, Auntie Nat." It's adorable seeing Romanov like playing with these kids. It's really cute. And just this whole scene gives so much more depth to Jeremy's character. His wife points out like why he is the most important. Like they basically spell out the fact that since he's the most human, he's the one that everyone needs on this team. Like in case you haven't figured it out for yourself, they spell out why he's on the team and why he's one of the most important aspects of the team. And then it's so interesting seeing the superhero playing the role of daddy. It really is, because it shows like, you know, he's got a normal life. You know, he works 9 to 5, shoots terrorists in Shanghai and Bosnia and Budapest. Shoots up terrorists and Hydra guys all over the world. Then he comes home and eats apple pie with his wife. It's fun. This is also where we get to meet Nick Fury. He just shows up like, "Hey, I'm in this movie too. Deal with it, motherfucker." And Nick Fury gets them all the information that he can. He gets them on the road to to meeting up with Ultron for the final confrontation. And right before we get to the final confrontation, this is where things start like scattering all over the place a little bit. Because you see Tony hanging out in this like internet hub that's apparently in like Switzerland or something, where he's chilling out, well, not chilling out, where he goes to find out who's been hacking Ultron, stopping him from getting nuclear launch codes. And that's where he finds out that Jarvis was actually doing it. This is also at the point where they manage to steal. This is also right at the point where they manage to steal Ultron's vision body from him, and they get that, bring it back to Tony's to try and dismantle it. But this is the moment when Tony realizes, oh shit, Jarvis has been screwing around with Ultron, and this is Ultron's new body. I kind of I want to build another robot. To which Bruce Banner just looks at him like, "We just went through this! We now have a giant silver killing machine on the loose, doing whatever, God knows what, all over the world, and you want to do it again!" And so they do it again! Mind you, it works this time, just Cap is not happy, and the Romanovs aren't happy, because they all know what Ultron wanted to do with this body. And so they don't necessarily see this body as a good idea. They don't see this thing, like, this is probably Ultron 2.0, it's a very bad idea. But then Thor just bamps in and says, "Fuck all of you!" And it uses lightning, basically gives life to Jarvis Vision. And then Vision just shows up, full bot. We get our first good look at Vision, and he's gorgeous. For like a Vision's character design in the comics has always been kind of silly, where it's just a red face and a green leotard with a big flashy yellow cape. It's always been very silly, but they managed to give like a nanotechnology look to his character. They actually give it some respectability. They actually make it look really badass. You can say that for a lot of a lot of the Marvel movies, that they take really, really out there designs and they make them work. Like, hell, Thor, the fucking wing helmet. Sure, they only had it once in the first movie, but you know, the wing helmet's still there, and you know what it looked like. They took Loki's helmet with the fucking antlers, and they made that work. They took a character as really gaudy looking as Vision and made him look like a badass, and it worked. I loved it. And there's a scene, and the scene where he's born, he basically says, "I'm neither Ultron, nor am I Jarvis." To which I say, bullshit, you're Jarvis. Because, one, you sound like Jarvis. Two, you're snarky as hell and you're willing to put Tony in his place at every turn. Because there's a scene where Tony is talking with everyone about how he's going to go up against Ultron. How, like, Ultron's pissed at him. He's his creator. So, Tony will be the big, giant, red target for Ultron to focus on. Vision walks by, like, just in the background, out of focus, and you hear him mention to Tony, "Oh yeah, that plan will work great because he does hate you the most. He hates you the most, so much." It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Then we get the final conflict, which a lot of people have said really looks and feels a lot like the Chitauri battle in the first Avengers. I mean, when you're fighting 50 million drones and one charismatic badass in a city, you know, yeah, it'll look similar, but I'd prefer a battle like this as opposed to leveling an entire city like Man of Steel. Granted, they do level half a city. They do completely destroy half the city that they're in, which is an Eastern European city, not Metropolis. They managed to level half this city by the end of the movie. But it doesn't come off as... it comes off as earned. I guess the best way to put it. This city deserved to get blown up by the end of the movie. Blow it up! But I can't really describe this fight scene. Like I said, it's very much the Chitauri battle, but I don't know. It's better than the Chitauri battle. But I will say one of my the best thing I can say about this scene is the introduction of Nick Fury coming back into action. Because since Winter Soldier, he's been in the background, he's been like goofing off, doing nothing. Even in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he showed up for one episode at the end. He was in the beginning of Season 1, but he only showed up once at the very end of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is yet to show up in Season 2. And in the latest episode, by the time you're probably watching this, it will be Tuesday, where the newest episode is you'll most likely have seen episode 20. But episode 19, Coulson gives the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fury's toolbox, which Fury gave to him, saying, here's the toolbox, there you go. But, you know, you probably won't have it very long, because Fury's going to come back and take it from you. Oh, spoiler alert, he's still alive. And, as we see in Age of Ultron, he is very much alive. And he has his own helicarrier. If there's one thing that neither Coulson nor this real SHIELD have, it's a fucking helicarrier. Fury has a helicarrier. Granted, he's a little understaffed, but he's got a fucking helicarrier. You don't say no to the helicarrier. And you don't piss off the man with the helicarrier. I cannot wait to see how that plays into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week and in the coming weeks. And I cannot wait to see how that affects the upcoming movies. More Fury involvement after he supposedly died. Whichever one else he did. At the end of the movie, after the final battle settles and everyone's done, Hawkeye goes back home to see his wife. Thor kind of says, "Alright, I'm fucking off to Asgard. You all have fun now." And Tony's just off doing his own thing. Banner decided he's not having any of this Hulk, Black Widow romance. He's just not doing it, so he disappears. He literally just disappears off the face of the earth. No one knows where to find him. And the Avengers are left with only Cap and Black Widow. So they put together their own brand new team. Made up of the Romanovs, Vision, Rhodey as War Machine, who makes an appearance as War Machine during the final battle, which I loved seeing. Falcon. Getting to see more Falcon in upcoming movies. Probably so. I can't wait to see more Falcon, Rhodey, all these guys in Civil War. That's going to be fun. And another thing that final scene tells me about the upcoming Civil War movie is that it's not going to be about superhuman registration like we originally thought. What it comes down to is they use these tag names. They use these names of story arcs that happen in the books, but what the Marvel movies are doing is they use the names. Doesn't have any bearing upon what actually happens in the movie. Winter Soldier, we just thought it was going to be Bucky vs. Cap the whole movie. That's all we thought. It's going to be Bucky vs. Cap. No, it was completely different. It was about S.H.I.E.L.D. falling apart underneath them and just completely eradicating itself. And Hydra showing up, which no one saw coming. Then, here in Age of Ultron, Age of Ultron was actually a recent story arc, where it actually was an AU, an alternate universe storyline where Ultron did take over the world. I'm actually not familiar with his story arcs from when he first showed up, but it was likely, it's likely around this. Every Ultron story, including the one from Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, is always basically Ultron I know how to fight. Time to take over the world, because I'm a robot. Suck my robo balls. Suck my kiss my shiny metal ass. Oh, that's better. But anyway. Now, seeing that Cap has his own team of Avengers, Tony is left. Tony never said he quit the Avengers. But since Cap has his own team, who's to say Tony doesn't make his own team? Because we've got pretty heavy power players. Because Vision is shown to be a powerhouse all throughout the final battle, especially when he takes down a good chunk of the Ultron bots and the final incarnation of Ultron. Everyone knows how much of a badass Falcon is, and Rhodey is just Iron Man with more bullets and less laser, with more gun. Iron Man with more gun. He submitted a request to the Office of More Gun for more gun. And the Office of More Gun granted his request. But yeah, no. War Machine, badass. Falcon, badass. Vision, badass. The Romanovs, especially Scarlet Witch, badass. Cap and Natasha, come on, they're a badass team. Also, looking toward the future, because I'm as much as I say that their relationship worked in this movie, I do not ship Hulk and Black Widow. I ship Black Widow and Winter Soldier, because that's who they basically have ended up with in recent years in the comics. And I think that would be an interesting development, especially given that she's working so close with Cap. If she was to find Rhodey and like develop something with him, drama out the wazoo. So yeah, the question now is, what's Tony's team of Avengers going to be made up of? Because we've got Thor, we've got Iron Man, Hawkeye, we have the Daredevil show, which was big success. We've got the Inhumans coming up. We've got Daisy Johnson, Quake, love her. She could show up in Civil War. We've got Spider-Man, who they've outright said is going to be a prominent figure in in Civil War. Black Panther also showing up in Civil War. It's just going to be. I'm looking forward to the upcoming to the next few Marvel movies, man. Between Ant-Man, Civil War, shit, and the final scene of. Also, if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't wait for after the long credits. There's nothing there. There is no troll face. There is no troll face here. I'm being dead serious. Do not sit there and wait for an after credit scene. After the hero credits, yes, wait for the initial credits to end. There is a scene there, but do not wait for the long credits. There is no Howard the Duck. There is no shawarma. But you do want to wait for the hero credits, because we've had 4 Infinity Stones shown off so far. We've got 2 left. And then the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars. 2018 and 19 are going to be spectacular. Oh, man. Well, there's not much else I can say. I hope you guys enjoy my opinion. And I'll be posting more videos. I will have another video up this week in regards to the Suicide Squad. In regards to the upcoming Suicide Squad movie and all the photos and all the press materials that we've seen thus far. I hope you guys have enjoyed my ramblings for the past, 50 minutes, Jesus. I hope you guys have enjoyed my ramblings, and I hope you all go and see Age of Ultron. You guys have a great day, and enjoy yourselves. Great future for comic book movies, man. Catch you next time.